Hello and welcome back to another installment of Pokefodder, and today I want to go over the very first of its kind, the Ultra Beast Nihilego. If we are to look at what is going to eventually, probably, most likely, be all of the Ultra Beasts being released into the game of Pokemon Duel, they had to start somewhere. I am surprised after looking at the wheel, and I will tell you why in a minute, that they only came out with just the one to begin with. But if we dive in closer to Nihilego's wheel, we see that it is a rock poison type. Kind of looks like a squid or a jellyfish, more jellyfish-like. It has the ability of white noise. When this Pokemon moves to the field, the effects of energy plates are lost. Now that is important because it will remove your own energy plates. If you are going to run this specific Ultra Beast, you cannot run energy plates with it. And they count as having been used. In the first battle after moving to the field, all of this Pokemon's white attacks become gold attacks. There's only one, but it becomes gold. If this Pokemon is knocked out, it moves to Ultra Space outside the field. Now it's going to look like it gets banished, but that's not the case. It just kind of moves off to the side, and the difference is going to be if a Pokemon gets banished, it goes up on the screen. When this Pokemon goes to Ultra Space, it's actually going to slide back towards you, the person playing the game. At its base form of level 1, it's going to have 8 myths spread out over 2 sections, a 28 wheel slice of stun poison. The battle opponent becomes poisoned. The battle opponent gains weight 7. It has a 28 wheel slice of white tentacles for 83, and that is based on Pokemon lore. It has something to do with attacks being prime numbers. So there is the reasoning behind that. Thank you to my viewer on the video from the other day who pointed that out to me. I appreciate the insightful information. Attach a symbiont marker to the battle opponent. A Pokemon with this marker attached can only be used by its opposing player and MP moves only. So if you were to attack, say a Lunala, and then it knocked you out, you couldn't in turn that Lunala against the opponent. All you can do is move it out of the way one way or another, the 2 MP spaces or the 1 MP space that it is allowed to move. This marker can be removed by tagging, which is important. And then you have a 32 wheel slice of Call Signal. It is a blue move, so it's going to trump everything else. Move one of your Pokemon that is in Ultra Space to a point 2 steps away from this Pokemon. And that is why I believe that's why I'm surprised that they released just one of these, because you really need 2 in order to run any of them. If you run one, it loses a battle, and let's be honest, 83 is not the strongest attack you're going to find. It's actually kind of a weak attack. But if you just have the one, if it gets knocked out, and basically when it gets knocked out or surrounded, it is going to go to Ultra Space. If you don't have another Ultra Beast in your deck to roll a blue and pull it back from Ultra Space, then it's gone for good. So it might as well be banished. And that is the Ultra Beast. What is unique about this is, if you will notice, it is a UX figure. This is the first UX figure that does not require a plate in order to use. If you look at all these other UXs, they're all Mega Evolutions. So it's very unique, very interesting, and a wild, wild ability. I've put together a deck here that I'm gonna take into a room match and kind of hopefully show off the abilities and how to make this Nihilego work. Give me just a minute and I will be right back. All right, so my opponent is ready to play. It looks like he's running a Steel Energy type deck, which is going to be great for my Nihilego. Of note, remember I said how Nihilego will cancel any energy plates that your opponent uses. Since I do only have 2 MP Pokemon currently, I'm going to open with Gengar out. Typically you would want to have a runner, but for the purposes of this video, I don't have one. You could put in a Crobat if you wanted to use this poison type deck that I'm using. 2 double chance. My opponent's going to use Steel Energy right off the bat. So I've got 2 double chance, a Scoop Up, Mega Gengar, Metal Sphere, and Phantom Sphere. Remember, because you can't use those plates. Because my opponent did use Steel Energy, if you look here on Palkia, not Palkia, it's not a Steel type, but if you look here, it says Steel Energy. Now, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my first Nihilego, and if we look again, notice how in the status area, Steel Energy has been removed, and if we go look at my opponent's plates, Steel Energy has been used. Very effective. I believe that's why the sphere plates were brought into the game, is because now there is a way to just cancel out the energy plates without having to run a break energy on. What I like about this deck, and the reason why I think it sets up so nicely, is because the purple is going to poison and wait 6. When Gengar hops over a poisoned or a noxious Pokemon, it is going to knock it out of the game. And actually, I believe it becomes noxious, not poison. I might have misspoke there. No, it's poison. Okay, and there is a little bit of a difference there. So he's gonna bring that out. I want to get to poisoning. So I'm gonna bring out my Toad. And if you're gonna run a poison deck, a good way to go about doing so is initially keep your Gengar back. Let your forward-moving Pokemon poison its opponent, and then you can start moving forward with Gengar and hopping over and getting the easy kills that way. Hopping over has a 100% kill rate, whereas attacking doesn't necessarily have a 100% kill rate. So keep that in mind. Going to go ahead and bring out my Sableye, and the reason why I put it there is because of Tractor Beam will pull a Steel type 2 spaces away, and we don't want that happening. I'm going to take this opportunity to go ahead and bring out my second Nihilego. And what I want to do initially is I just want to poison. And I'm going to go ahead, because there's so much 70 there, I'm going to go ahead and attack into Palkia. Waste my first turn being a gold attack. And we're going to get knocked out. But that's okay. Even though it was a gold attack, it was white tentacles. So if you watch, on my next turn, as long as he doesn't tag his Palkia, I'm going to be able to control where his Palkia goes. Now I can't, like I said before, I can't make his Palkia attack his own Garchomp, which would be really funny. Can't make that happen. But all the figures that have the gold above them are figures I now control. And because I want to bring my Nihilego back onto the board as soon as possible, I'm going to bring Palkia down closer to me. This way, his Garchomp can no longer reach, and his Snorlax can't reach. So he has no way of taking that ability away from me to control his Pokemon. And what I'm going to do is I'm now going to double chance, because here's what I'm looking for. If you'll remember, if I roll the blue, it brings Pokemon from Ultra Space to a point 2 steps away from the Pokemon. So I'm going to double chance into Palkia. I'm going to try to roll blue here, and if I'm successful, I will get the surround kill of Palkia. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop down here. Perfect. So we got Call Signal. I don't want to re-roll this. And look, everywhere that's highlighted are where I can move my Ultra Space Pokemon. I will put my Nihilego there, and we get an easy surround. No Pokemon in the PC to bring back, and because he just came back from Ultra Space, his white move becomes gold again. KO, even though we are going to end up getting burned. That's why I have to scoop up, is in case I do get a status effect on one of my figures. I would definitely like to keep them both in the game. Hopefully this kind of makes sense, and you can see why I say running one of them is no good. And that's why I'm really surprised that they didn't go ahead and bring in 2. So there we go, off to Ultra Space. I'm going to, let me check something first before I just go pillaging in. That's not the best matchup for me. So I'm actually not going, I'm just going to go up here and take over the entry point. What I want to do is, it's not a really good matchup for me as far as Garchomp, because Garchomp has such a large 100 wheel slice. Ooh, we got super lucky there. I will go ahead and bring him back out. Awesome. Now, what do we want to do? I think our best thing to do is just Metal Sphere, which is going to give me a plus 10 boost to my 110 and my 130 attacks. And I want to see what my opponent's going to do here. I'm going to go after it. There. That's going to be poisoned in weight 6, which is, we can definitely work with that. I'm going to apply pressure, and what this is going to do is it's going to force my opponent to move his scissor, because he doesn't want his scissor to get surrounded, obviously. Ooh, that was a terrible roll. Not for me, it was a terrible roll for my opponent. I will take over the other entry point. Now he's got Snorlax as a 1 MP figure. Can't really do a whole lot. And we are looking really good. I'll drop back here. And actually, you know, a better play might have been to scoop up. I can't remember if this was the one that got called back. I believe so. Perfect. So now my white came to gold since I came from Ultra Space. And I at least had the chance to knock out the Inkay there with a gold move into his purple. So things are looking really good. I've got a pretty well controlled of the board here. That would be great, except for Snorlax can't be poisoned, but he too is now on a weight 6, which means all he can do is move his poisoned Metang, and that's going to allow me to surround. There's nothing he could do. Oh, and I kind of messed up. I maybe could have gone Mega Gengar and won the game, but I'm not showing off Mega Gengar. But at this point, it's pretty much game over, unless he knocks out my Gengar here, because I can just go Mega Gengar over my opponent and win. Alternatively, if I did not have a figure that would be a 3 MP that could get to the goal from there, as you can see, I would be able to move to here, right there, and I would surround Inkay, and then I would surround Snorlax on the next one. But there's no reason to show up my opponent. I will just take the Mega Gengar, and I might have missed this a turn earlier. Hopefully you'll forgive me. I was showing off the Ultra Beast and not really showing off Gengar and what it can or cannot do. Alternatively there, what I could have done is I could have just taken regular Gengar and hopped over. But in my opinion, if you have the opportunity to take the win, just go ahead and take the win. So that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments below. I want to know a couple of things. I want to know, do you like the Ultra Beast being in the game, and do you think that they're going to become meta? Probably not right now, but at some point. Also, what do you think of this deck build? How would you run the Nihiligos if you were going to use them? I'm interested to know what your thoughts are about my deck and what you would do to make it better. I appreciate everybody who takes time to watch these videos, If you want to carry on a little bit further of a conversation, we just passed over 1,000 subscribers on my Discord channel. There are links, as always, in the description below. But that is going to do it. I'm excited about these new Pokemon. I think not today and not tomorrow, but once we have 3 or 4 of these in the game, I think they can make some really wild and fun decks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and until next time.